The opening of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter not only revealed an unparalleled treasure of gold, but also unearthed a vast and complex tapestry of the religious and political life of ancient Egypt. Among the thousands of artifacts that filled the burial chamber, one object in particular has emerged as a key to unraveling a previously unknown funerary ritual, an enigmatic dagger of meteoric iron. This mysterious object not only represents a metallurgical feat in an era when iron was rarer than gold, but also suggests a profound religious innovation, a response to the theological turmoil of the Amarna period that sought to ensure the young pharaoh's resurrection and eternal life through a renewed connection with the god Osiris. Like, subscribe and share. Let's begin. Tutankhamun's dagger is in itself an extraordinary artifact that challenges conventional understandings of Egyptian technology and belief. Its iron blade has been the subject of exhaustive scientific analysis that revealed a composition entirely unusual for terrestrial metallurgy of the time. The blade contained a high concentration of nickel and cobalt, a chemical signature incompatible with iron produced in the furnaces of Egypt in the 14th century BC. This composition conclusively indicated that the iron used to forge the blade came from a meteorite, a material that had fallen from the sky. The significance of this material in Egyptian cosmology transcends the merely geological. Meteoric iron was perceived as a divine gift, a metal forged by the gods and sent from the celestial realms. At a time when iron was an extremely rare material and far more valued than gold, which was abundant in the Nile Valley, the use of meteoric iron underscores the ceremonial and personal importance of the object. It was no ordinary weapon. The dagger was found strategically placed on the mummified body of Tutankhamun, a detail that accentuates its symbolic value as an essential element for his journey to the afterlife and his connection to the sacred and celestial. The fact that such a rare object with such a powerful provenance accompanied the pharaoh suggests that its use was linked to an act of protection or a rite of passage vital to his rebirth. The presence of the dagger, along with other seemingly mundane artifacts, has led researchers like Nicholas Brown to propose the existence of an innovative funerary ritual not previously documented among royalty. This ritual has been termed the Osirian funeral rite, and its purpose was clear: to ensure Tutankhamun's resurrection through a direct and powerful connection with Osiris, the god of the underworld, death, resurrection, and vegetation. Tutankhamun's tomb is situated immediately after the turbulent Amarna period, a time of intense religious reform and social upheaval instigated by the young king's father, Akhenaten, who attempted to impose the monotheistic worship of the sun god Aten. Tutankhamun's reign marked a return to religious orthodoxy and the reintegration of traditional cults, including that of Osiris. This new funerary ritual can be interpreted as a religious response to the theological instability of Amarna, seeking to renew the pharaoh's connection to the eternal cycle of death and rebirth symbolized by Osiris, and to reaffirm tradition in royal practice. The components of this rite are fundamental to understanding. Clay dishes for libations. Numerous clay dishes were found in the tomb. Far from being mere utensils, it is suggested that they were used for libations of pure Nile water. This water, a source of life and fertility, symbolized the awakening of the dead and eternal life. The offering of water, essentially an act of recreation, was a key component for the resurrection of the pharaoh Osiris. Staffs for cardinal protection. 4 staffs were also found alongside the king's body. These objects may have served as ritual elements intended to protect him, evoking the cardinal directions. In Egyptian cosmology, aligning the deceased with the 4 cardinal directions was an act of cosmic ordering, ensuring that the pharaoh could successfully navigate his journey through the underworld, the duat. The repetition of the number 4 in the arrangement of the staffs underscores the solemn and directional nature of this new protective ceremony. In this context, the meteoric iron dagger, with its celestial origin, could have served as a talisman or ritual weapon for the pharaoh, an object of divine power indispensable for facing the dangers of the underworld in his quest for resurrection, assisted by water rituals and cardinal protection. Tutankhamun's tomb never ceases to amaze with objects that add layers of mystery to his journey to eternity. The armless mannequin. A truly unique object is a wooden mannequin found in the tomb. This mannequin lacked arms and has been the subject of debate. While some suggest it may have been used to try on the king's clothing during his lifetime, the lack of precedence in other royal tombs makes it exceptionally mysterious. It could have a ritual significance, perhaps related to the transformation or incomplete representation of the physical body, a concept often linked to the imagery of Osiris and his dismemberment. Cryptographies in paintings. The wall paintings in Tutankhamun's tomb have revealed another layer of hidden meaning. Cryptographic texts or hidden texts have been discovered within the scenes, revealing names and double meanings. One example is the scarab beetle symbol, which not only represents rebirth, but was also a way of writing Tutankhamun's secret name. These layers of coded meaning in the funerary decoration add an intellectual and esoteric dimension to the pharaoh's journey, showing that theological knowledge was deeply intertwined with his destiny in the underworld. The combination of the meteoric iron dagger, elements of the Assyrian funeral rite, such as the clay plates and 4 walking sticks, and hidden details in the decoration reveals a more complex religious landscape for the young king than previously thought. They suggest that 18th dynasty Egypt did not simply reverse the Amarna changes, but actively innovated its funerary practices, seeking maximum divine protection and legitimization for its monarch, who died prematurely. The mystery of the dagger, forged from material from the stars, thus becomes the key to deciphering this unknown ritual, an attempt to link the king not only to the earth but directly to the cosmos. Ancient Egypt, a civilization obsessed with death as the gateway to eternity, left behind a legacy of mysteries that modern science is slowly unraveling. One of the most surprising and symbolically rich finds from Tutankhamun's tomb was not the opulence of his golden sarcophagus, but a far more subtle object, yet infinitely deeper in its meaning: an iron-bladed dagger. The mystery of the dagger, forged from a material rarer than gold during the 18th dynasty, thus became the key to deciphering this unknown ritual. An attempt to link the king not only to the earth but directly to the cosmos. Like, subscribe, and share. Scientific analysis of the dagger blade, using X-ray fluorescence, XRF spectrometry techniques, confirmed what researchers suspected. The material did not come from terrestrial mines. The iron showed a high concentration of nickel and cobalt, a chemical composition that is the unmistakable signature of meteoric iron. This material, which traveled for millions of years through space before impacting Earth, was known to the Egyptians as Bia and Pet, or metal from the sky. The discovery of an iron dagger in a late Bronze Age tomb is, in itself, a chronological rarity. Wrought iron was extremely scarce, and its large-scale metallurgy had not yet been developed in Egypt. Its value, therefore, lay not in its practical utility. Bronze was more common for weapons, but in its divine and supernatural origin. In the Egyptian worldview, meteorites were not mere rocks. They were direct gifts from the gods, fragments of the stars and the heavens. They were the tangible material that connected the world of the living with the celestial realm of the gods, especially with the sun, Ra, and the god of air and space, Shu. The presence of this dagger in such an intimate place as Tutankhamun's shroud, very close to the young pharaoh's body, suggests that it was not a mere ceremonial weapon. It was a critical element in an unknown ritual designed to facilitate or ensure the king's transcendence. The Egyptian civilization's fascination with immortality was inextricably linked to astronomy. The pharaohs, especially after their death, aspired to ascend and join the imperishable stars, Deacon stars, those that never set below the horizon. Tutankhamun's dagger is the physical manifestation of this desire for ascension. Its inclusion in the funerary regalia was a deliberate and powerful attempt to, ensuring ritual purity. Forged from metal of heaven, the dagger possessed an intrinsic purity that made it suitable for interacting with the deities. It may have been intended for a final act of magical protection against the forces of chaos, Apophis, that the king would face on his journey through the underworld, Duat. Facilitating astral travel, the dagger served as a cosmic symbol, an object imbued with the essence of the sky, acting as a ladder or lighthouse to help the king's Ba, the bird-shaped soul, navigate and find its way to the star realm. Linking the king to the cosmos. By possessing the dagger, Tutankhamun proclaimed himself not only as an earthly ruler, but as a descendant and direct relative of the gods who resided in the heavens. The object was irrefutable proof that the pharaoh was directly linked to the cosmos, legitimizing his power on earth through his divine origin. The discovery of the dagger is not an isolated event. The study of the pyramid texts and the coffin texts reveals the Egyptian king's profound reliance on celestial concepts for his resurrection. These texts are replete with references to gates of heaven and the king's need to transform himself into a star to ensure eternal life. Furthermore, the discovery confirms the existence of knowledge and appreciation for meteoric iron that predates the Iron Age. The Egyptians valued this material for its origin, suggesting a sophisticated understanding of its rarity and its connection to astronomical events. This was not about advanced technology, but rather an advanced theology that prioritized mythical origin over practical function. Ultimately, the cosmic dagger transforms a funerary object into a powerful ritual talisman. It is tangible proof of how the pharaoh, on his deathbed, sought to ensure his immortality by using a fragment of the universe itself. Tutankhamun's treasure speaks not only of the opulence of a dynasty, but also of a civilization's profound, complex, and beautiful attempt to erase the barrier between earthly existence and celestial infinity. The dagger's blade, cold and celestial, remains the silent witness to a journey that transcended life itself. Like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.